What's up, WWE YouTube fans? Hope all you guys had a great and lovely weekend. I hope you are all having a great Martin Luther King Day. By the way, guys, happy Martin Luther King Day. And of course, happy Monday as well, guys. Again, I wish I did an episode over the weekend. It was a very busy weekend for myself with family. So it feels good to be back. I will admit that, guys. But let's get right into it, guys. Welcome back to the channel of the Ryan Knife WWE Report right here on YouTube. Well, it is Monday, so you know probably what this episode is going to be about. We are going to look at some recap of 2 nights or 2 days Monday Night Raw from Belfast, Ireland. Guys, well, it's really interesting that we had 2 title matches tonight, and both of them had Irish people competing in it, guys. Our opening match of the night, it was for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, and it was a rematch from 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. The new and once again Women's Intercontinental Champion and Ireland's own, the man herself, Becky Lynch, taking on the former IC champion, or the former Women's IC champion of Alpha Academy's Maxine Dupree. But what was really interesting about this match was who was in Maxine Dupree's corner, the one and only Natalya. Now, remember, guys, the former champion Maxine Dupree, she trained for Becky Lynch in the Heart Dungeon, where you know that the famous Heart Dungeon, the famous wrestling Heart Dungeon. And again, Natalya was in the corner of Maxine Dupree. And, you know, we thought that Natalya was going to come out and kind of be someone to look in, you know, Maxine's corner about what happened 2 weeks ago on Raw, when Becky Lynch became the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, but by a very controversial move. Well, guys, here's the thing. You know the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Well, you know what? We're going to get back to that in just a little bit. It was, number one, a great matchup and all of that, but it was very interesting what the man, Becky Lynch, did before the match. During the commercial break, she actually did a promo. And she said in her homeland of Ireland, you know, it reminds me that I'm back of the reason I left. She's like, I'm rich and famous, so I can leave. You know, and when I heard that promo, I was like, oh my God, you know, how low could Becky Lynch get? I thought with everything Becky Lynch has been doing over her tweeting or social media, that would be how low she would be able to get. But nada, she had to get low in her homeland of Ireland, which, by the way, you know, the voice of Monday Night Raw, or the voice of possibly the WWE, Michael Cole, you know, Becky Lynch's hometown is not too far. You know, Dublin, Ireland, you know, not too far. And really, she had to get that low with the crowd, you know, right before defending her title. But getting into the match, guys, number one, it was a really interesting match. And the way it ended was even more shocking. I mean, I don't think anybody could predict the way the match ended. It was a great night for the Mon Becky Lynch. She retains her Women's Intercontinental Championship, but remember when I just said keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Well, here's the point. I'm going to get into it. Thanks to Natalya, the Mon Becky Lynch is still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, guys. Yes, Natalya turning her back on her longtime friend, Maxine Dupree, by putting Becky Lynch's foot on the bottom rope. Now, unfortunately, the referee, Nana, did not see it, and no, Jessica Kern was not the referee for this match. But you know what, guys? If Natalya did not do what she did to the Mon Becky Lynch, we may have had a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And it was one again. Natalya said before the match to Maxine Dupree that I'm going to be in your corner tonight to make sure what happened 2 weeks ago doesn't happen tonight. And you know what? It kind of showed that Natalya's intentions all along was to betray and screw Maxine Dupree. And, it wasn't just that, it was after the match. She would attack Maxine Dupree and, leave Maxine in the middle of the ring. It was a vicious and unnecessary attack, first of all, okay? And unfortunately, guys, for the remaining of Raw, we did not get an explanation from Natalya, guys. And all along, Natalya went all the way to North Belfast Island to screw Maxine Dupree in the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. I'll be very honest with you. Nobody knows why Natalya did what she did except Natalya, guys. But the way that match ended was shocking. And if I know the Mon Becky Lynch, she likes to talk about how she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. And really, she should be thanking Natalya for what Natalya did. And, it's heartbreaking. I'm still speechless about that, guys. Luckily, guys, I have a good feeling that this is now only the beginning of Natalya and Maxine Dupree, guys. And you got to feel bad for Maxine Dupree. I mean, literally, if Natalya did not do what she did during the matchup, we may have had a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And, again, Natalya is going to have some explaining to do. But in reality, guys, the sad thing is we still don't know why. Natalya did what she did. And I don't know either. I mean, hopefully we can get answers from Natalya, guys. But the Mon Becky Lynch defeats Maxine Dupree in Belfast, Ireland to retain and keep the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But I do want to ask you guys, not what you guys thought of the match, but what did you think of the way the match ended? What Natalya did. That's what I want to know what you guys thought of. So I would love to hear it down below in the comment section and all of that. If you guys could even predict why Natalya did what she did, I would love to know your prediction as well, guys, because I'll be very honest with you guys. The past couple of months on Monday Night Raw, Maxine Dupree Brie has like improved way better than when she first came on the Raw roster. And I'll be very honest with you guys, I was shocked with what Natalia did. It was like I had to like rewind it just to make sure I actually saw what I saw and all that. But if you guys have any like predictions on why Natalia did what she did, I would love to hear it, guys. But you know, it's I guess it goes with the quote, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, because all along we all know this was no mistake. We all knew what Natalia did. Natalia knew exactly what she was doing. And I want to know what you guys thought of it. But if you guys think you know why Natalia did what she did, I would love to know what you guys think and why she did what she did. So you guys can leave that down below in the comment section. All right, guys, now we go to our other championship match of the night. It was the main event of 2 nights Raw, and it was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is what it was interesting, guys. Ireland's own, representing the Judgment Day, Finn Balor challenging the Second City Saint Chicago's own and the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. Now, you know what, guys? Heading into this match, I woke up this morning bright and early, and the only match I could think about was this one, for a number of reasons. Not only was it in Ireland, the homeland of Finn Balor, but also, everybody was like, I would read, X or Twitter, whatever you guys want to call it, and there were people saying that will the Demon Finn Balor return tonight? Will Finn Balor make his entrance in his homeland as the Demon? So that's really what caught my attention, because 10 years ago at SummerSlam, Finn Balor became the first ever Universal Champion, and only to relinquish the title the very next night. And ever since that, Finn Balor has not been a world champion in the WWE. And he was in his homeland on his island for 2 nights Raw. But most importantly, it was, what version of Finn Balor are we going to get? And the really interesting thing was, number one, I was wrong. What was really cool about Finn Balor's entrance, he did not come out to his Judgment Day theme or his current theme. It was his old OG theme, and I loved that. And it was when Finn Balor said to the voice of WWE on Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole, that I needed to be reminded of who I am. And I really was impressed with actually Finn Balor's entrance on Raw tonight, despite maybe a little disappointed that it was not the Demon Finn Balor. But to hear that, when was the last time Finn Balor walked out to a WWE ring with his original theme song? I liked how it said on the Tron, Balor Country, and we were in Balor Country for Raw tonight, guys. But number one, guys, what a phenomenal main event we had tonight. CM Punk being a fighting champion. And I'll be very honest with you guys, Finn Balor at multiple moments of the match had CM Punk beat. And I kind of, examining the match, watching the match, I felt like, number one, Finn Balor did make a few mistakes, okay? But, hear me out, but Finn Balor took CM Punk to the limit. And before tonight, they've never met one-on-one. CM Punk and Finn Balor, prior to tonight's championship match, have never met one-on-one in the ring. So it was really cool to see them meet for the first time one-on-one, not only in the homeland of Finn Balor, but it was for the World Heavyweight Championship. And to be very honest with you guys, CM Punk proved what he proved 2 weeks ago on Raw against the badass Braun Breaker, that he is the second City Saint and he is the best in the world, guys. CM Punk is still the World Heavyweight Champion. I loved what CM Punk did after the match. He extended his hand to Finn Balor. He helped him up and he raised Finn Balor's hand in victory, showing the respect for Finn Balor, guys, in his homeland and all that. But right as Raw was about to go off the air, I saw a look in Finn Balor, a look that not really of just disappointment, but more of, I'm going to get another opportunity at it. Like, he was planning, I could see it in his eyes, that Finn Balor was planning a way to get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Because remember what Finn Balor said last week on Raw, the line starts here. And I just have this little feeling that Finn Balor is not done with CM Punk. Who knows? Maybe I'll be right, maybe I'll be wrong. But what a tremendous main event, guys, on Monday Night Raw. And I got to say, what? The main event stole the show. I would rate it maybe a 4 out of 5 star matchup. Great main event. CM Punk is still your World Heavyweight Champion. And you know what? There's a really good chance that CM Punk could be walking in to the road to WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion, guys. You know what? I would rate the main event 4 out of 5 stars. The waking up this morning, the internet was saying that there would be a new World Heavyweight Champion tonight, and CM Punk proved the internet wrong. But you know what? At least tonight, CM Punk was the better man, but he showed a lot of respect to Finn Balor, and I applaud CM Punk for that. But, I could see the disappointment in Finn Balor's face. And you know what? It's probably really disappointing. Not only was it a World Heavyweight Championship match, but it was in the homeland of Finn Balor, guys. And you know what? I mean, remember what Finn Balor said earlier tonight on Raw to the Judgment Day? He was going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and obviously that did not happen. So I can see a lot of disappointment in the eyes of Finn Balor. And hey, I will be very honest with you guys. It is bitter disappointment, but hey, Finn Balor has nothing to be ashamed of. He showed CM Punk how good he really can be, but I still got that funny feeling that it's not the end between those two gentlemen. But hey, so I would love to know what you guys thought of the main event and the match. Before Raw, the internet was buzzing. Would Finn Balor go out as the Demon? Would we crown a new World Heavyweight Champion tonight? And obviously with our 2 title matches, no titles changed hands. So, but yeah, even though we're not talking about everything that happened on tonight's Raw, I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. So let me know down below in the comment section. All right, guys. So before I end this episode, guys, I just wanted to say again, happy Martin Luther King Day, guys, to all you guys. I hope you are all enjoying your Martin Luther King Day and your Monday. But remember, guys, Monday Night Raw is back to its normal time next week. And next week, guys, Monday Night Raw goes from Canada of Toronto, guys. So Monday Night Raw will not be in the U.S. next week, but the week after next week, Monday Night Raw will be back in the U.S. in the home of ECW of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, guys. Now, like I said, we're not talking about everything that happened on 2 nights. Excuse me, I burped. Sorry, guys, that was really disrespectful of me. But we are going to talk more about what happened on Raw tonight, tomorrow, especially with a 6-man tag team match between The Vision and Eva Penta, WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee. We will talk about all of that in tomorrow's episode because it will be interesting. But as always, guys, drop a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you do subscribe down below if you have not already, guys. And we are officially 4 days away from Saturday night's main event. And we got 3 matches. One of them will determine the #1 contender for Drew McIntyre's title at the Royal Rumble. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, we are 12 days away from the Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I'll see you all in the next episode.